The only thing keeping Rama in Ayodhya is the desperate slumber of the citizens. They have followed him into the wilds, intending to form a human wall against his departure. But as midnight passes, exhaustion finally wins. To slip away, Rama instructs his minister, Sumant, to drive a deceptive path. They head north, carving deep tracks to suggest returning to the city, before looping south. The chariot moves in silence until it reaches the final boundary of Kosala, where the horses are brought to a halt. Rama steps onto the earth and bows. He gathers a handful of soil, promising to apply the dust of his motherland to his forehead every day of his 14-year exile. This act marks the first true severance. While his body leaves the protection of the kingdom, he consciously carries its essence with him as a spiritual anchor. By sunrise, the group reaches Shringverpur on the banks of the Ganges. Waiting there is Nishad Raj Guh, a chieftain and childhood friend who was devastated to see the prince in exile. Guh immediately offers his own kingdom to Rama, pleading with him to accept the throne of Shringverpur rather than face the dangers of the deep forest. Rama maintains his resolve. He explains that his vow, the Munivrat, demands he live as an ascetic. To accept a proxy kingdom or any form of royal hospitality would violate the integrity of his exile. That evening, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana lie down to rest on a bed of dry grass and fallen leaves. This meager camp sits in sharp contrast to the palace in Ayodhya, where King Dasharatha remains paralyzed by grief, unable to find rest even in a royal bed. By choosing the forest floor over Guha's palace, Rama completes a psychological break from his past, setting aside status and comfort as decisively as he left his father's gates. Guh watches the royals sleep on the ground, his eyes filling with tears. He directs his anger toward Queen Taikeyi, blaming her ambition for the suffering unfolding before him. Lakshmana intervenes, suggesting that looking for an external villain is a misunderstanding of how the world operates. He argues that no outside force truly grants us joy or sorrow. We simply experience the results of our own past actions. To Lakshmana, the material world is as fleeting and insubstantial as a dream. This perspective transforms their situation into a moment of cosmic duty. They are not victims of a stepmother's plot, but participants in a necessary destiny that must be fulfilled. At the river's edge the next morning, Rama delivers a difficult order. Sumant must take the royal chariot and return to Ayodhya. Sumant pleads for a compromise. He begs Rama to let Sita return with him, hoping to fulfill the king's wish that she at least be spared the hardships of the wilderness. Sita rejects the offer. She defines her path not by the safety of a palace, but by her presence beside her husband, stating that just as a shadow follows the body, she will remain with him in both light and darkness. Sumant eventually retreats. The sound of the empty royal chariot fading into the distance signals the end of their physical connection to the capital. Finally, the trio removes their footwear. They step with bare feet onto the rough, thorny earth of the forest bank. With the chariot gone and their feet touching the thorns, the last remnants of royal life have vanished. They enter the deep wild as true hermits. Now standing at the water's edge, the exiles face their next challenge, the crossing of the Ganges. This will lead to a legendary encounter with a boatman who demands a very specific price for his service. If you want to see how this journey continues, make sure to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to Rahasya Gatha to follow the epic saga of the Ramayana.